Hi guys, you are listening to the Cattle Strength podcast. If you enjoy this show, don't forget to give it a share. Here we go. Croeso I episode 21 o'r Cattle Strength podcast. Heddi ni'n croesawu Alys Eadon, Eadon Fit, lawr I gampfa Cattle Strength.
Right, so that is welcome everyone to episode 21 of the Cattle Strength podcast. Today we're welcoming Alys Eadon of Eadon Fit to the, what was the last bit you said? Gampfa.
The gym.
Gampfa.
The gampfa.
A gampfa. Right, this episode, thank you very kindly to EJ Thomas and Son Limited. They are a locally based civil engineering contractor striving to provide an unrivaled service and deliver a cost-effective solution to all types of contracts. Thank you, Aled and family. Aled Khaled. So thanks, Al. Cariad. Look at the screen.
Jock Browd.
Hey, Alys, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Yeah, very good.
Al, I think you need to turn your mic to face you, mind. Surely, do you?
Yeah, go for it. It'll still pick up, don't worry.
Okay.
So Dave's not here today, so we're winging it again like we did for the sunny one.
Dave's gone part-time.
Dave, part-time, he's like Owen. He's like Coach Joe's.
Dave and Owen have gone on holiday together.
So if we turn the camera around, honestly, the job that Alice and Reese did, I will put on socials. It's embarrassing, but nice attempt.
We need to Dave.
So Alice, we've got you on today. It's Celiac Awareness Week. Month. The whole month.
Whole month.
So we still have another 10 days.
Yeah, guys.
If not more. Christ, why are we doing this in such a rush? So Alice, tell us about celiacism. Is that what you call it?
Celiac disease.
Oh, not celiacism.
Not ism.
Oh my God. We let Alice do the talking today.
Go on, Al. Tell us. Tell us.
Yeah, so it's basically a autoimmune condition that affects. So when I eat gluten or come into contact with it, even if it's like imagine you're a tiny little crumb on the worktop. Like if I ate that or consumed it, whatever, my own body's immune system attacks itself. And then, so then that's basically what it is. So it's an autoimmune disease rather than an allergy.
So when you come into contact, as in eat. But if you touch...
Touch is fine, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
we could touch the bread.
But actually, interestingly, when I was out in New Zealand, worked on a dairy farm.
Did you go to New Zealand?
I did, yeah.
Did you do a high rocks? Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, so the wheat that they fed the cows was airborne. And then as I was breathing it in, it made me poorly.
So symptoms, how poorly?
So it does depend like how much I consume. So obviously if I eat a crumb compared to a loaf of bread, it would be slightly different.
Love to see Alice with a big loaf under her arm.
But just migraines, bloating, fatigue, and then I'll get the flu because my immune system has been hammered. And then my guts take 4 months, up to about 3 to 4 months to repair themselves.
Good God.
So then all the food I eat doesn't get absorbed, so I don't absorb nutrients like a normal person does, basically.
Have you always had this? Or something you were born with, or...?
I think so. Looking back, I would be popping paracetamol daily because
really?
For headaches, yeah, all the time. And I'd always feel fatigued, bloated, just took it down to that's just how you should feel, you know?
Good
and
God.
then wasn't until I saw a doctor in the UK, but they weren't great, if I'm honest. We went travelling, saw a specialist, and that's when I got diagnosed, so 4 years ago.
So how did you get the diagnosis? What tests did they run on you?
So they have to run blood samples, so you have to be eating gluten, so then you've got the antibodies in your blood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if you weren't eating gluten at the time, that wouldn't have come up in the test?
They wouldn't test you because you don't have the antibodies. But you've got to eat it for, I think it's 6 weeks as well.
So you basically got to force feed yourself with something that's not...
Feel rubbish for 6 weeks.
And when you say the guts, were you you get bunged up? Is that what...
Yeah, so I would be constipated. I probably wouldn't go for a poo for 3 weeks. Which is borderline dangerous for rupturing, obviously.
3 times daily, yes.
Jack, my son was constipated the other day.
Was it?
And because he obviously couldn't poo for a while, he was getting red blotches on his skin. Do you get that?
You can get, so that is one of the side effects I don't get is skin rashes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I read up about it. It's your body is trying to get rid of obviously the toxins, etc.
Yeah.
But it can't. So it's trying to go through the skin now, isn't it? Obviously it can't.
Yeah. Yeah, that is one of the side, but that's one of the side effects I don't have, but yeah.
No.
So obviously, the last 4 years, you've done a huge amount of research on this and sort of educated yourself, I suppose.
Yeah.
And that's what's led you into your nutrition coaching, right?
Yeah, it was. So I just just started reading the back of everything, and it just led me to be really interested into like what different foods do to your body, and then I just became a bit of a nerd, nutrition nerd, and.
So you can't obviously eat bread, but gluten-free bread, it's shit, isn't it?
Shout out to Warburton's.
Warburton's, if you're listening, please
give
leave
us
us
a
a review.
review.
Or you can sponsor the podcast.
Yeah.
They actually do pretty good gluten-free
Do
stuff.
they?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, like I like a beer or a wine, for example. I don't see the point of me drinking a non-alcoholic glass of red wine. What's the point?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So if I couldn't eat bread, I'd be like, what's the point of eating?
Have you ever tried gluten-free bread?
Yeah, my mum has it.
It does.
She's
depend, though,
like
because
gluten.
it has got a lot better recently.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
It used to be awful. Like you would literally try and butter it. And
Yeah.
You know, like when the bread just like falls, like it just ends up in crumbs.
Yeah.
But no, it has got a lot better. And they do like bagels and stuff now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I've had it before. I remember when I was playing, like in my younger days, playing rugby, we had Robinson and Taylor.
Do you play rugby?
Did play rugby, yes. We had Robinson and Taylor, and I was trying to, believe it or not, I was trying to gain weight at this point. I was too light, which is the complete opposite of my life story now. But he was like, all right, Reese boy, you need to add some porridge into your diet. I guess I'm like, up the carbs, basically. But he was like, oh, don't get regular porridge, get gluten-free porridge. Because he was big into CrossFit, still is. And he was gluten, obviously, with CrossFit, they try and push, back then, and especially. But I was on gluten-free porridge.
The
for a while.
gluten-free oats, you can't tell.
No.
Like, it's fine. And like, there's a lot of things that, like, I'll make for me and Heath, and he won't know the difference. And, like, I quite often do, like a fake-away thing that's, like, gluten-free. And, like, he says, like, if he had a Chinese, he would feel, like, awful afterwards.
Yeah.
Just from, like, the rubbish that goes into it. So, like, gluten isn't good for anybody, really.
No,
like, your body can't digest it.
I generally don't eat much. I like week to week don't eat bread.
Yeah.
But like, and then I don't really eat overly big amount of pasta. But I can definitely tell when I've eaten bread. Like my mum's tries to stick to a gluten-free diet, as in like not as strict as what you'd be. But it's hard, isn't it? Because like I used to run a restaurant. I don't know if you know. Before you guys say we used to run a restaurant, and you know people are liars. You've actually got celiac disease. People would come in and they say, "Oh, can I have the gluten-free menu?" So I give it to them, and they say, "Oh, can I have that?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, that has got gluten in it." "Oh, I can have a bit." Well, you're not gluten-free then.
Yeah.
So it's either celiac is not to be joked around
No.
about. It's one of those situations.
And like
where,
I've on the other end of the coin, I've been to quite a few places, and they'll ask me, I'll say like I'm celiac, and they'll say, how sensitive are you?
no, I'm celiac.
And I'd be like, you wouldn't ask somebody with a nut allergy how sensitive
No.
are you? So why do you ask? You know what I mean? It's difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Because nut allergies can kill you. Do you know?
Exactly, yeah.
Can I?
Yeah.
But yeah, people sort of toy around with the idea of they
And
think
I
they're
think a lot
gluten
of it
free.
was, I got asked by quite a few people when I first like kind of said I was gluten free. A lot of people asked me, "Oh, is it because you want to lose weight?" I had loads of people ask me that. I was like, "No, it's not our choice."
You wouldn't say that with the nut allergy, would you?
No.
Trying to cut down the nuts.
Are you not eating nuts because you want to get skinny?
Yeah.
Hey, high fat nuts. God, that's
yeah.
Yeah.
And how did that make you feel then as a...
I mean, eating out and stuff, like it definitely played a role, like with like social anxiety. Like I'd say no to social occasions with friends because I'd get less anxious than if I went, which is sad.
Yeah. But you're feeling a bit better now. Shout out the cellar. We trust the cellar.
Shout out, yeah.
Auntie Glyn.
Glyn.
Yeah.
But there's nowhere
If you want to
else,
sponsor the pod, Thomas family.
Yeah, please do, guys.
Yeah.
Where else would you go around there?
Don't think I would. Really.
Nah.
No.
So, local restaurants, if you're listening, if you want to get some more customers.
Yeah, we'll all join.
Only because I've been told by so many people that they can cater for me and then I'm ill. And I'm not just ill for like a day, I'm then ill for like 3 months.
Yeah.
I feel rubbish for.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just not worth it.
No.
God, I can't even imagine that.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, you've been with Hedwin. How many years have you been with Hedwin now? Oh, you should know this.
I should, shouldn't I?
If I asked Hedwin, 4 years. So he's gone through this, through all this with you.
Yeah.
How's that been with him? Like, I can imagine in the relationship, it's
It is
pressure on him as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and like to be fair to him, he is really, really good. Like if we share like a pot of butter or Nutella, like he has to put a knife in, drop it on the bread, and then use a different knife to spread it to not put that knife back in the Nutella.
God.
Like there's a lot, and it's a lot of trust. Like it's to the point now where I trust that he won't, you know.
Oh, I bet early.
Pressure,
I
innit?
bet early days Heather had his friggin' ass kicked. Can you imagine, Alice? Get that knife out of my Nutella!
Yeah. But
Oh,
no, like,
can you imagine?
Yeah, and like
But he says the fuck ups on the way to
Poor
get to his
Hedwin.
point.
Hey,
Yeah, he has.
Hedwin, are you rocking there in the corner? Just thinking about his PTSD. Poor kid.
I know.
That's why he's got the shakes, isn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah. Every time you see him, he's like, please don't come at me.
PTSD.
But no, to be fair to him, he is really, really good. And like, you know, when it comes to things like we have separate chopping boards, separate saucepans, separate toasters. But like, I think what the
We
just lost a bit of the blind.
we lost a bit of the towel.
Um,
So this has been costly for you.
oh, it's so expensive. Yeah,
Double toasters?
double toasters. Yeah,
Christ.
His and hers.
his and hers.
You got an air fryer?
Can you imagine backpacking the looks we got when I was carrying around with my own saucepan everywhere? People would come up to me and be like, "You do realise there's saucepans in the hostels?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I know. Just I can't use it." Like I had to carry. We had one saucepan that we took with us.
But, so you wouldn't trust Fairy Liquid?
No.
Really?
If stuff gets put in like a dishwasher, that's fine.
376 degrees.
Yeah, like 4 times. That is fine, but yeah, just the state of the stuff in the hostels. To be fair.
Oh, I can, yeah.
And like different sponges.
Yes, I agree with
sponges.
that, yeah. But you'd think,
I won't
yeah.
kiss, like me and Heather won't kiss if he's like just eating like a bagel.
Oh, I bet he doesn't eat bagels very often. It's when you actually understand it, it's a lot of...
It isn't just me not eating bread. There's a whole like social and it spreads out to everyone. So like Easter, we had all the family down, but I cooked it all because otherwise I know I would just feel anxious eating it. Because my mum and dad have lived, all their life
happy around gluten,
happily.
yeah.
And then and sometimes they find it hard. Like my dad will chop, like he'll put the lamb on his bread chop board, and then I'm like,
I can't eat that now.
Yeah.
I think people are naive to it. I like anything like this. If people don't know anything about it, they will be naive to it. Like obviously with Down syndrome with Harry, with us, we have the exact same thing, but obviously very different. With you now, I can relate. It's like when you first started working here, and I've known you for years, but when you first started working here, we'd be like, "Oh, should we go for a team meeting, guys?" And then you'd say like, "Oh, let's go to blah blah blah," and we wouldn't think anything of it, and you would just be like, "Oh yeah, I'm probably not going to come. I'm not going to eat." And I was like, "Come on, man, just it'll be fine."
Yeah.
And you were like, "Nah, I'm not. You guys go without me." And I was like, "Why?" And then you explained. And then we didn't realize how bad it was. To be honest,
it was to the point where Heatherwin wouldn't know how I was feeling because he's around me all the time, but it would be ridiculously to the point if I knew I was going out for food, say with the girls on a Friday night, that Monday I would start feeling anxious. It was just...
Are you feeling better now, or...?
Yeah, I'll still be a little bit unsure. When I went to London, last weekend, it was nice because we went to, dedicated gluten-free places. So I know...
Do you want to shout anyone out?
Palada in London.
There you go.
Oh, it was all... Yeah.
what'd you have?
We had, it was croquettes, cheesy croquettes to start. They were nice.
In breadcrumbs?
Yeah. We had pulled pork tacos.
Now you're talking my
Yeah.
language.
Pulled pork tacos, beef skewers.
Croquettes, fuck's sakes.
And then that bakery you went to look banging.
Bakery, had loads of croissants. Because I remember when we were...
or as Reece says, a croissant.
Croissant, yeah.
Shout out Jan, he loves it when you say that. So, yeah, they look banging, those croissants.
Oh, and you can't,
stuff.
and when it's done properly, you can't tell. They taste like normal.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because a pastry is nice, but it does always make you feel a bit...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Feel a bit what?
You know, in your gut.
Yeah.
Because I'm the opposite. I would never go more than 3... I don't think the whole 3-week situation's really got in my head.
How long have you gone without a pastry before?
Oh, I haven't had a pastry for a while. You're on about euphemism now, are you? No, I don't think I've ever gone more than a day without a pastry. If we're talking about non-pastry.
I don't know what you're talking about yet.
I was talking about the toilet situation.
I was literally talking about a pastry.
Oh, no.
Danish.
No, I said I couldn't believe Alice. The whole not going to the toilet for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Really got in my head. Because, yeah.
Yeah, because I'll go a day sometimes. You know, if I went on a stag do the other day, and the next day, like, everything just doesn't work, doesn't it, in your body, and...
Everything's a bit too quick for me the day
I
after.
went a whole day without going to the toilet. You feel it the next day, you feel heavy, you do.
Yeah.
And that's a day.
Yeah.
No, you do.
Yeah, oh, that's not me.
And it's like, even on like laxatives, it just,
wouldn't come out. You ever tried the this is what we do with horses, you know, like foals if they were constipated. I've got horses, I don't know if you know. Get a syringe of olive oil and you inject it in their bum and they'll poop. But you should know that because you're a vet nurse.
I've done you can do it on dogs and cats.
Yeah.
But I'm not shoving a thing up.
If you ever need it.
Yeah, my son was constipated.
Yeah, I think they do it with babies, don't they?
Apparently.
What?
Pears.
Yeah.
Pear and prunes.
Prune.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's also why I eat dates as well.
Yeah.
Just to
keep.
Because
my brother was constipated on holiday one year when we were really little. My mum kept force feeding him prunes. Yeah, it does work.
Yeah, it does. And like, I need to try and eat more fibre than the normal person.
Because you have rice cakes, cottage cheese, and several dates every morning, same time, same amount.
Yeah.
Very clockwork.
I get a little bit like on edge if I don't, you know.
You are a person of repetition, are you? You do
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say you and I are very sporadic.
Yeah, no, I have the same breakfast every morning. Same, I eat different different dinners and stuff, but
nothing wrong with that.
If that's what works
I think it's
for you.
because if I'm out of routine, I know my guts will be like, hang on a minute.
So how were your guts after London? Don't know why.
They were alright, not normal.
Not the normal.
But not 3 weeks, you know.
Yeah.
God.
No,
it's like I said, it's something that doesn't get spoken about enough, and like anything similar to this, you know, people like endo, for example, just as an example, you know, we've got girls in the gym suffering with that, and no one really understands anything about it. It was like menopause was like this not too long ago. No one's spoken about it, and you know the symptoms that you'd have going through menopause, or like even the menstrual cycle at one point, if you go back a couple of years ago, like that wasn't even spoken about.
No.
And these issues that people deal with day to day should be spoken about and made normalized, so that it can come up in conversation with either your coach or your spouse or your friend, so people can understand, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think we talk about periods a lot here now.
Yeah.
Because there's probably over at least 60, 70 girls come a day here.
Yeah.
When you think about all the classes.
Yeah,
Our membership, I looked the other day, we're 71% female orientated.
So if you have around 100 people come in a day, that's about 70 people, yeah?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, 70 women, sorry.
Yeah, 70 women, sorry, out of the 100 people coming. And there's a lot of period talk that goes on, which is good. Yeah. Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I love talking about periods.
To be fair,
though, last 10 years.
To be fair, I remember when I used to do the gym, come to the little gym up there. Like, if we used to be like, you know, if you'd give me like 15 kilo dumbbells, I'd be like, oh, not this time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, if
I
you're
feel like you do understand it quite well.
I think if you're a coach and you don't know the difference between like the follicular phase and luteal phase of a menstrual cycle, like I think even like how long a cycle is or how it affects you, I don't think you are educated enough to coach a female athlete. I think you should know this.
Yeah.
It's the basics really of like what people go through day to day. And especially if your goal is weight loss or performance, like any goal really, but yeah, definitely. I think, no, it's inspiring to see how you cope with it and deal with it. Like you've had some struggles over the years I work with, you know, feeling and how you feel and stuff.
Yeah, like there was a time in my life where I would only have like a little tiny mirror to like brush my hair in. I wouldn't have any body length mirrors in my house, like at all, because I just didn't like the way I looked, which is really sad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was a time in my life where like I'd train and it was kind of like you'd go to your gyms and there'd be mirrors everywhere, and you know, like I'd go in and I would sit in the toilets probably for like 30 minutes and be sitting on the toilet crying, because to try and get the courage to go out into a gym, you know, it was when we were in like New Zealand and Oz and we were doing like bodybuilding type training, you know. It wasn't until I found a CrossFit gym
where there's generally no mirrors
whatsoever, and I walked in and I remember seeing like women that were like normal, you know what I mean, like just normal everyday people.
Like when you see especially like the generic CrossFitter look, like they ain't no catwalk supermodel.
No.
As in, do you know, they're not these tall, skinny. They're like proper women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't until then, and like, it kind of changed my mindset of how like a woman should look, and like, rather than when you're in your like typical bodybuilding gyms and everyone's posing in the mirror, everyone's got a six pack or whatever, you know.
Mirror selfies. I think though, like, I think no matter who you are, I bet you any money there's supermodels out there in the world who aren't happy in their bodies.
Yeah, of course they're not.
You know, like even the men who are in incredible physiques, they won't be happy. Like a lot of them won't be happy in their bodies. I think, you know, it's a mental thing more than a physical thing, and it's hard to deal with. But like, thank you for like opening up, by the way, and sharing that. It's,
I think it's important to talk about it. You know, like if there's anyone else that's like struggling, then it's important to talk about stuff because it makes it feel like it is a subject that can be broached.
Yeah, and it's fucking awesome to see, by the way, that, you know, you're blowing past that now and like gaining with confidence,
absolutely.
things like that.
I mean, coaching here has done my confidence a world of good.
Oh yeah,
like if you remember
grown
what
a lot since day one, haven't you?
Yeah, you know what I
A
mean.
lot.
And like, it's just thank you to all the members that made it feel like welcoming.
Yeah.
Come in as a shy person to coach, because if the members weren't welcoming, then you know wouldn't have stuck it.
We create an environment if you got like mirrors everywhere, and you know, like even the picture you post, picture you show to your members and the people who might look to join the gym, if you're all about image and how you look with your top off and things like that, you know, it can create a bad picture.
And I think social media is great, but I think it's also very dangerous, and I think that social media played a huge role into why I struggled, because everything I would see and scroll through would be women who looked, you know, like they
had 0% body fat,
thigh gap, all of that, you know.
Yeah, I know. Even without the use of filters or even a good picture with a good angle and good lighting, you can still look completely different on social media. Like CrossFitters are a good example of this. Like I remember like looking at pictures of Froning and stuff back in the day, and you know their physiques are on another level and they look massive. But then I saw a picture of O's a couple of years ago next to Froning, and he looks small.
Yeah.
It's just that picture, and it's only him in there, and he's got a barbell in his hand. You know, they look different in real life.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're constantly comparing yourself to these people that you look up to, or role models in the fitness industry, or in any walk of life, you know, it can massively affect you.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, it's another reason why I got into like nutrition is because I think I went through a stage where I really, really struggled with food, and like food was seen as a very negative thing, and it came at the same time as when I like found out I was celiac. So like everything I was eating, it kind of had a negative like process in my mind, because I was like, is it going to make me feel poorly? So then food got to be a very negative thing. It got down to the point where like I would weigh off like single grains of rice to make sure that I was having like 100 grams of rice. Like if Heather was doing it, I'd be like, no, hang on, I'll do it, because I was so regimented.
Yeah, and this is more common than people think as well. I've had girls in the past who I've trained because most people who want to lose weight, you have to like, say they want to lose weight, you have to guide them to the fact that you need to create an energy deficit, blah, 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 and you need to move more, blah, blah, blah. But the whole creating a calorie deficit can be so tough for some people. You know, it can create like tough challenges you know, that create a toxic environment basically when they're tracking the calories.
Create obsessive behaviours,
exactly.
can't it? Which, because you use the word regimented, but for me, I hope it won't offend you, that is obsessive. Do you know what I mean? And it's unhealthy obsession. So for you to have turned that around, like I've had stuff over the years, like I couldn't train my top off, for example. Just like, you know, and I know I'm not big, but the thought of me weighing out my food that precisely does not even come into my brain. I just put it in my mouth and eat. Do you know what I mean? Which I couldn't even begin to think the feeling of not being able to eat guilt-free. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll eat stuff sometimes and think, I shouldn't have had that. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I said maybe like at least multiple times a week, I shouldn't have had that. But then I'll move a bit more.
Yeah.
And I don't actually beat myself up over it. So
when you change your training from training for like your bodybuilding physique to training for like something like CrossFit or high rocks, where food is fuel,
you need to eat.
You know, so then it's becoming a lot more. It's a positive.
Yeah, of course.
And like that's what I try and get all my clients to do. And loads of them have said to me like, "Are you sure I can eat all this food?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, absolutely. It's just nourishing good food.
Have you had people join you coming from like other coaches who are on like 1,200 calories a day,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
And it's petrifying, especially as a female, because
Yeah.
you know, how is a female meant to? How are their hormones meant to stay remotely balanced?
And explain to them like, no, you need to eat this, and
Yeah.
be like, oh no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, it's because they weren't losing weight when they were on 1,200, and you were like, well, that's probably a part of it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can ruin your like metabolism, can't you? By because your body's just constantly on like starvation mode. Everything it eats, it thinks it stores because it's in starvation mode.
And I just ask, oh, how's your menstrual cycle? Is it behaving like it normally should? And they're like,
Yeah.
no, I haven't had a period in like this amount. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay. And then
Yeah,
You
because like unfortunately, like at the moment, like I am struggling with my menstrual cycle. Like it isn't as regimented as it should be, and I do think it's because of all those. Well, it was probably 2-3 years of me like not eating enough and not fueling enough. Like it was. I mean, it's
Yeah, well, we
it
had
doesn't just affect you now. It can affect you.
Emily Tucker. She came on the pod. Shout out to Emily Tucker, EV Training. She's pretty much done the exact same thing as you've done. She went through that training for aesthetic phase, where it was all about having those abs, the thigh gap, etc. She actually took it to another level where she went on stage. It took her, I think she said 3 years to just get back to normal baseline of where your body should be. And she said, like, never again.
No.
So she now trains in a CrossFit box, trains for performance, and, she's a savage. But, she's the damage that you can create over those years,
absolutely.
people don't. And then, like you said, you constantly look at social media, you see people doing these photo shoots, you see these, like, fake pictures online, and you think, oh, how's she managing to get a waist like that and a glutes like that? But she hasn't got a waist like that, and she hasn't got glutes like that. She's literally pulled her thighs, waist in.
Yeah.
She's...
It's these apps nowadays.
Oh.
It's petrifying.
Owen sent me one the other day. It's like a muscle app. Shout out to Owen.
So when we see Reece training for his high rocks and he's got his top off like he did Monday morning with a set of abs, we know that is from the app.
If you see me with my top off, people are going to say, who is that melted wheelie bin there doing fucking baby bro jumps? Tell him to put a soup sandwich.
It's the worst when you like see people and they've got like the door frame behind them and their bicep.
No, I just got dodgy carpenters.
They got, their arms are like, their shoulders are stacked. They got this real definition, but the door frame's bent. Well done.
What's that? Like, what's it telling, people who are looking up to these people? Like, what's that saying?
Yeah.
You're creating a huge problem. That again, no one fucking talks about. It's really sad.
It is sad.
Well, there is a country, I can't remember where it is, but there's a country that's trying to bring it in as law that you can't edit your pictures.
No, Denmark, they have.
They haven't, yeah.
Shout out to Denmark if you're listening.
Bring the law into the UK. It's very
they
worrying.
changed it somewhere about social media, haven't they? You can't have social media until you're a certain age.
Oh, Australia.
Yeah.
You've got to be 18.
Which I think is really,
Yeah.
Listen to Over the Falls. Shout out to Dave.
If you're listening, Dave, come back and put the blinds up.
Yeah, they literally spent an hour the other day talking about like social media and how it negatively affects your life and stuff. I can't remember the statistic, but like we're having this conversation now. No phones. My phone's over there, like rolling, do not disturb. If we're having a conversation and someone picks up their phone, I think it takes like 20 minutes for your brain to recognize to get back into that conversation properly.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time. Like, you could talk now, and I'm bad for it. Everyone's like, and I'm trying to be more conscious of it, but you'll pull your phone out, and you're only doing a minute task, like getting back to someone really quickly while maintaining a conversation. But you're not in that conversation.
No.
Like, off topic.
And the amount of people, like, especially kids, if you go out for food somewhere, and I'll see, like, families, and they'll all be on their mobile, and I'm like, this is meant to be, like...
Family time.
Yeah, and then when you see the statistics of, like, how much of your life you waste on the phone and on your social media, it's fucking...
I'd like to have a separate phone for my private and my thing, and then see how much time I spent on it for myself. Does that make sense? Because I don't think anything I do on my phone.
I have a cap on all my social media.
Do you?
A time cap, yeah. So once I've spent that time on that, that's it then.
Do you?
Well, I'll be honest.
By breast cancer when it comes up.
I do it. Like, I do. It comes up saying, oh, you've reached your cap.
It was Heather that actually had it on his, and I was like, that's actually quite a good idea. Because you lose track of time, don't you? knowing how long we
Yeah.
spent on that app.
TikTok's the one for that.
You on that?
I'm not on that now.
You need to grow up now. You need to get off TikTok.
I only go on it like
You got
every
Snapchat?
couple of... No, I've deleted that. Because my phone broke.
Yeah,
I couldn't be bothered to reinstall it.
Ah, what a
I
terrible
only
app.
really use Instagram if I'm honest. Like Facebook is just I don't never go on it.
No, I don't go on
anymore,
Facebook.
really.
Mainly because at the moment now, if you go on there, it's like you go to like something and you see it was like March the 3rd. And
I
I'm
know,
like, oh my
yeah.
God, I look like a complete psycho
I've done that so many
stalker.
times.
But I've got, I know a girl, I'm not going to say her name, but she's 12 and she's not allowed Instagram or Facebook, but she's allowed Snapchat. Now for me, out
Snapchat's
of those
worse 'cause-
apps, Snapchat
yeah.
is
'Cause once you send that pic,
1,000% the worst.
Yeah.
I went out with the Lampard Rugby boys last weekend. No, the weekend before. We won the league, by the way. Shout out to Lampard RFC winning the league this year. Well done,
If
boys.
you'd like to sponsor the pod,
I sponsored them. Funny.
yeah, they should return
Yeah, they
the
should
favour,
return the favour, yeah. But we were like joking around and like having a good night. Like, you know, we were dancing on tables and stuff. And three... Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I'd love to see you try and dance on
Yeah,
this
I was thinking
one.
that.
Get on this one now.
And no. And three of the boys had their Snapchat out and they recorded and didn't think anything of it. And then the weekend after then, I went to watch Aberaeron rugby play. Shout out to Aberaeron, they won the league as well. And some of the like old like committee guys came up to me and they were like, "Oh, so you dancing on the table the other night? Where did you see that?" And they were like, "Oh, Snapchat."
How old are these people?
Well, their sons, I think, I'd show them, but that needs to stop. Surely there needs to be a ban on that. Like when I used to go out with the boys, if anyone got their phone out, and they can put your phone away then.
Yeah,
Have enjoy the night.
I know. But people probably think that about us when they're dying out there in the gym and we're just there like
Filming
this.
Yeah.
How do you feel? You know, you're melted on the floor.
Yeah.
That's different. But
I think that was in the waiver when you signed up as a member, isn't
Yeah.
it? You're allowed to have
Floor
a camera.
cam.
Yeah, floor cam.
Yeah.
in terms of training for performance, Al, so obviously we're now not training for aesthetics anymore. We're now training for performance. You're smashing it. You're this close to getting your
hybrid
first bar
rock
muscle
star.
up. But you're also now a
I knew it was going to be this.
high rocks wanker. Can you talk me through the transition?
Isn't it a hybrid rock star?
High rocks wanker.
Yeah, you're a High Rocks wanker. Hey, if
I can't
High
say anything. I'm
If
going.
High Rocks are listening and he'd like to sponsor the pod,
A hybrid rock star.
Yeah.
Talk me
so
through that.
I've wanted to do one, I think, and like I am of a physique that kind of, with CrossFit, if there's a heavy barbell, just weight moves weight, I'm going to struggle. So I thought I'd like to give High Rocks a go. Really running, I enjoy running. And then went to enter, and I was going to enter as a doubles with females, but the tickets had gone. So I entered mixed doubles, me and Heath, who doesn't like running and isn't a...
Can't run a bath.
But yeah, so anyway, booked that with him. We raised over £1,000 for Macmillan Cancer Research.
Very good.
Yeah.
I did
Very good.
donate in the end. Did you
thank
say it? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you everyone for
Yeah.
your donations.
You
Much
donated?
appreciated.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Be awkward
and-
friend.
Huh?
Be awkward
Yeah,
friend.
nah, mate. Don't like charity.
Yeah, we had like the best time. It was awesome. So much fun. The crowd were great. And it was nice to do something a bit of fun. Like don't think I've done anything like it's a kind of competition kind of thing, and I actually enjoyed it in a long time.
Did you do your wall balls to depth?
I did.
Just checking.
And I didn't get any no reps.
Yes.
Did Heath win?
Yeah, a few.
On what? The wall balls?
The running.
He just didn't.
No rap.
To be fair, he ran the whole thing.
Oh, well
Fair
done.
play to him.
So what
Yeah.
did he get no reps on?
Oh, there's like a target, and you've got to literally hit the middle. Like you can't like hit the bottom of it, whatever. So
Just so
But
I
we
can
didn't get
work
any
on it
no
next
reps on
time I
anything
coach
else.
him.
so
How are you finding still mixing up CrossFit training and high rocks training?
I'm quite enjoying it. I think it's so like you can like transition from one to the other quite well. To be honest, I mean I didn't do a huge amount of running training before it, and I'd like to say I cope with the running quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what you do in the gym. Like your aerobic training can transfer.
It's
over, can't it?
transferable, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like high rocks, well, it is. It's an event, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're training for that event. And then you're training then from that. CrossFit's is more of a methodology, isn't it? You know, it's a full methodology of how you train, how you live your life, etc. Whereas high rocks is just one event. And
Yeah.
the methodology of a CrossFit, I think, is going to massively benefit people who are training for high rocks.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you need to get your running up.
Yeah.
Cause
Like
you're
if
not,
I was to do another one and like do it kind of, either with another female or whatever, then yeah, my running is what I would train my running more just to get that up.
Yeah. I think they massively benefit each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd do an individual one. I think I'd keep it as pairs.
That's too hard. Fuck that.
Yeah, just I know there's no point me even saying to myself that I won't make it competitive because I will.
Yeah, and then you
Absolutely.
put pressure on and
Like, it's as much as the CrossFit Open was great here and I loved hosting it, actually competing in it, there's a huge amount of pressure, I think, which is all on me. No one put pressure on me.
No, I think it's also quite a pressure thing for coaches as well.
Yeah.
I think. I know at one point you said you were nervous or whatever, and same as me, like,
Yeah, because you don't, like...
You don't want people to think, God, this person...
This
being a good athlete does not make you a good coach, but you don't want to look like you're totally useless. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, there is that pressure as well.
Yeah.
You know, people say, oh, you'll get a good score because you're a coach. Well, no, it doesn't really work like that, you know?
People tell Katie, my wife Katie, you'll be good at this because you're tall.
Yeah, exactly.
Pisses her off. She's like, shut up, Susan.
Yeah, fuck you, Susan.
Yeah. But I don't think I would never not do CrossFit just because of the skill element. Like I know I'd get bored if I just trained high rocks.
Are you going to put hybrid rockstar in your like bio now and stuff? No. T-shirt coming out?
No.
You...
I think Owen would kick me off his online plan if I did.
If what? You did
If I put hybrid rockstar in my bio.
Owen's just telling me he wants to do a high rocks.
Yeah, he said
just to kill everyone and then retire from it.
Yeah.
Owen's is avid listener of the pod. He gets annoyed when we slate him, so we're not allowed to take the piss out of Owen today.
I actually saw Owen yesterday.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's nice seeing them train together.
Yeah.
He had to ask me for the postcode for the gym. I think you found it. I think Caris was with him, so she directed him.
Yeah. A shout out to Owen. He does. I think he actually was upset the one I did with you the other day, the pod.
Should we say a few nice things about Owen?
Yeah.
After you then.
After you, Alice.
Nah, I was really listening. We do love you, I promise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love to annoy you, Owen.
No, he brings a completely different side, doesn't he, to the gym.
I've got a stag coming up soon. Well, not soon.
Where are you going?
I think I want to go somewhere hot. He's like,
Get my shirt off, show my arms.
yeah. So I don't know
I've
where.
never seen Owen train topless. He's like a very conservative CrossFitter, and I like that.
Yeah.
I think it's good. Good.
It's
You
when-
don't need to get tops of all the time. Race. It's a hybrid rock
It's
star.
that roller door that opens normally, isn't it? Before the tops come off.
Yeah.
When Owen does pull his top off, I was like, fuck you know.
Yeah.
It's like when Manuela was a vest, isn't it? Like guns everywhere.
I know. When she was explaining the workout the other day, I was just looking at her arms. I
staring
was
at her
like,
arms.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane.
The day my
Insane
bank manager
physics.
came down, the gym, and he was just like very naive to the gym and just looking around, didn't really know where anything was. And then Manuela walked in a vest. I think she just did like, I think it was Barbara, so it was like 100 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, etc. She just walked in like forearm, like pump.
Yeah. She's insane.
He was like, "Who is that?"
Who is that beast? She looks insane. So online nutrition's going well then, Al?
Yeah, really good, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, busy.
Good.
Yeah, which is good. I'm enjoying it. Enjoying watching people progress and
Yeah, you've
helping
had some
people
really
out.
good results lately as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Asking for a friend. How do you stop someone having tea and biscuits in the night?
You can still have tea and biscuits as long as you're eating your macros.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
I like a tea biscuit.
Yeah, that's
Do
fine.
you?
Absolutely
Yeah.
fine. I never say to anyone that they can't have anything.
No.
Like, because if it's something that you want, your body's just gonna you're gonna give in and then end up eating the whole packet of hobnobs.
As long as you count it and you're accountable.
Yeah, exactly. And
Which
say to
I need
people-
to do.
I say to people, like, if you've gone off the bandwagon and you've had a terrible day and you've like had 4 McDonald's, just tell me. Because if you don't tell me, I don't know why you haven't progressed in your weight loss.
Yeah.
You know?
I like the analogy. You know, like if you've got a car and you have a puncture, you know, you wouldn't puncture the other 3 tyres, would you?
Nah.
You just fix the puncture.
Fix function.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what a lot of people do with nutrition is if they have one bad meal,
They have a whole bad
that's the
weekend.
puncture.
Yeah.
They'll just fucking...
Oh, it's the same about training, isn't it?
Yeah.
You miss one workout, you miss Mondays,
Actually,
and
I
you think,
liked what O said on Saturday. He was talking about having
Slow and smooth as fast.
a few times, yeah. But he was saying that like if he's having a bad training session, won't just kind of like get in a bad mood or let it get to him. He'll like train that movement for like a different reason to get a positive out of it. So like he was doing clean and jerks. That's probably something stupid like 120 or whatever kilo. And he was saying which isn't his normal weight or whatever. So instead of doing that, he kind of had a different reason why he was clean and jerking, so he got every lift to like hit it, where he wanted to, and worked on like that skill aspect rather than the weight.
So it's technique rather than
technique, which I thought was cool because I'm bad for if I've had a bad session, I'm just like, that's it, rather than trying to think of a positive.
Yeah, no, Oz is a wise man, very wise man.
Yes.
There it is.
Shitbeard.
Nah, good
Nah,
beard.
shitbeard. I tell him to his face. Shitbeard.
Yeah, it's no. He
can't work out what he's doing. Has he got a beard?
It's
Is he
like
not?
halfway, isn't it? Like Headman, he's got a beard.
Yeah, same with Mike.
Yeah.
Got a beard.
Beard. Yeah.
And then I was going to say.
So I'm not condoning this, by the way. They're going off now.
Yeah, it's like he's sucking a bit on.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Owen. I do love you. I wish you'd work here more often.
Yeah. I think that's why we go after him.
That's why we go after him. Because if you were here, we would get bored. We wouldn't abuse you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right then, Al.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Eden.
In the gym?
In the gym, yeah.
Hello, my name is Alice.
The seller, tickling.
Yeah.
Eden Fit on Instagram. Yeah.
And before you leave, we'll have one space fact.
I thought I got away with this.
One space fact for the millions of listeners.
Actually, I do know one. Yes. Quite interesting. I don't know why I know it. If you're in space, you actually will grow in height about 2 inches.
God,
because gravity, decompresses your spine.
I'd be 5'4".
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good fact.
I don't know why I know that. That's really weird. But
And if that fact has tickled your fact
I wonder what you're going to say then.
brain, give Alice a follow.
Yeah, Eden Fit.
Eden Fit. Thanks, Al.
Thanks, Al.
Thanks, guys.
Ciao.